my goal is to have you all a set of plans by August 1st, where we can begin advertisement, and that's that is contingent on rural development giving us the go ahead to advertise. They'll have to look at it, but I'd like to have you complete set of bidding documents by August 1st and advertise until approximately the end of August. And so have a bid open in the first part of September. That's the schedule that I'm working toward right now. And then I know there were some. The other thing I wanted to kind of give you an update on. I've kind of just told you what the exterior, how this building is going to be made, and I know there's some, what's it going to look like, and I have some pictures, some example pictures. I'll just kind of hold up and show you. This is the form system that'll be used on the exterior, and what it is, it'll allow the concrete and reinforcement will be poured in the center part, and the exterior part will actually have rigid polystyrene. Will have 2 layers of insulation. So you're gonna have a really good. This is the advantage of using this type of system over just like concrete block. Make sure you actually get additional insulation value with this. And on the exterior of this will have a pattern that's applied to it. That I don't know if you can see this from where you're sitting. I'll pass these around afterwards. But a brick, you can make it look like brick. You can make it look a bunch of different ways. But this is, to me, when I first looked at this, it looked like they've been laying brick on this structure, but it's not. It's actually the exterior pattern that you can get with this. And I'll pass this around. That's the finished product of that. Our city hall is not going to look like this building, other than we can just give you an example of the types of patterns that you can put on that. They actually did this to match. This is actually in Hopkinsville, I think, is where this one was taken, and this is an existing building, and they wanted the brick pattern to match so it didn't stick out. So there's a lot of flexibility on those colors and the patterns. So I wanted to bring that to you just to let you see these photos. And then also I'll pass around just the latest version of our floor plan. This is essentially what you've seen before, but I've got all the dimensions on there, and it does have. This is what we're using to create the structural drawings with, and the rest of the architectural drawings. These are the final dimensions that we've got in here. So I'd like to. They're too small to hold up here to really look at, but I'll just give you all each a copy of that so you have it for your reference. So that's all I have. Is there any questions on it at all at this point?
Honestly, we're really better off not having nothing going right now anyway. It's dry as what it is. We could end up with some footing issues, if we poured as dry as what everything is. So it might be a good thing that we're actually waiting, until fall. Maybe we'll get a little moisture in the ground to where it'll come back a little bit.
Yeah, I hope so, because it's so dusty. I mean, it's just dust.
I imagine it'll be like up there, Mr. Moffitt's house, the dust cloud.
Yeah,
Water there.
I know it would be. Some moisture would help. It would help during the excavation for sure.
Yeah.
So I'll pass these around and just let you take a look at them. If y'all want these separated,
You said you did. You said you did talk to Lola last week too.
I did. Lola was at I met Lola in Dixon, and she was at one of the TED meetings that I was at. And we talked, and she said everything's still a go. I mean, the papers that Nancy, the application that she got together is still in good shape. And I guess we got approved for the interest rate. We got that locked in. And if it goes lower, we can get a lower rate. So everything is good with her. And Lola has forwarded me, which we've incorporated into the contract. She's got some contract language that has to go in that bid package. And she's got that.
And you can make this brick any color you want.
Any color, yeah. And you can really even make if you want it to be some kind of tile look. I mean, you can do that. You can do that too if you wanted to, change it up. But yeah, any color scheme is.
It's just like brick.
And it's got weatherproofing too. Under that you can put like a vapor barrier. You can put in there between the styrofoam and
Right.
and the wall, so it's a,
So we're gonna have a high-tech building,
that's right.
as far as insulation value and energy efficient,
That's true.
storm-proof, energy efficient. Only one like it in the county.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Anybody have any questions for Seth on the building?
Tony. I did talk to him about the road bore.
Uh-huh.
Have to have a road bore for the sewer.
Okay.
The water line's on the same side.
Yeah, Jerry's a big help to us that day. He came and showed us where we need to connect to the sewer, located the water main.
The fire hydrant, is it there?
Now, well, there's a fire hydrant, about close to
What was it,
400 feet. Yeah, 380.
400 feet.
Yeah. And that would be, I guess, toward, it'd be west, wouldn't it? West of the site,
Yes, towards the lake.
toward the lake.
And you
from
got
the
one
site.
at Lewis's branch that's probably 1,000 feet.
So is that gonna be in compliance with where they want them?
I think the one there to the west is going to be getting close to that. I mean, if we still wanted to install it just for you know, the sake of having one closer. But I think the one that to the west is close enough. But I've still got to show on the plans. Well, that's something we could put as a deductive alternate or something like that in case it went over budget. We can take that out, you know. Because I think it's a good point Jerry brought up. We can save some money by doing it.
What type of money are you talking about?
You're talking about for a fire hydrant installed, you're probably looking at close to $2,500. And,
You probably couldn't get to the line tap for that.
right, but we've got a little section of main to go with the plug and the tap and sleeve and valve probably cost you $3,000. So you're probably looking at $7,000, $8,000 there.
Close to 10, roughly.
Probably.
Well, what about, you know, we got some in-kind work figured in on this, and I guess that's what we really need to kind of figure out is what we're gonna do on our in-kind work, that we can kind of cut it out of this. Because we've got about $40,000 worth that we have to do, right?
Yeah.
So we need to kind of figure out what part of it we wanna do, you know, and the sewer tap may be part of it. We may wanna hire somebody, and that be part of our in-kind, like.
That's true.
The directional bore and getting the 4-inch underneath the road is gonna cost you big time too.
Oh, yeah. What, $1.50 a foot, $2.50 a foot, I think our last 4-inch we done. Of course, that's directional bore and then pulling the sleeve back up.
And this will have to be case 2.
Yeah. You might be looking more like $100 a foot going on this road, what do you think here, something like that?
Probably have to jack the
At
bore.
least.
Yeah, put that steel cage.
You know, we're gonna have to show $40,000 worth of work on this anyway, so, you know. And there'll be places that we
It
can.
sounds like you get the fire, you know, put the fire hydrant in the road board, pretty much gonna get it.
That's right.
But we know we'll have to do the road bore on the sewer tap.
Yeah. It's on the opposite side of the road. Water line's on that side.
That's that.
You know, like I say, if y'all are okay with it, we could put those items in as deducts and see what the bid comes in at, and then just deduct them out. You know, say you could pay for some of that direct, or do it yourself.
If I can say something, if we do put fire hydrant in, whoever taps the main line, we need somebody that's used to doing it. Because if something happens there, you don't put everything from here to the lake out of water.
We're still tied together around Ulster Road, right? So it won't.
Can be.
We won't put them
We don't
completely
use
out.
that, but can be. But
If something was to happen, we would have an alternate route to get them water, just between here and Stewart, maybe with that.
like I say, I'd
When you have,
rather you not have somebody who just got into the business tap it.
you wouldn't have to cut it off to tap it.
No, it's tap and sleeve and valve. They clamp it on there, drill through, pull the plug out, go. if they know what they're doing.
I know the last one, Whitaker, he actually hired a guy from Jackson to do his tapping, as far as the sleeves and the tap.
That will probably be your cheapest guy as far as the road bar from sewer too.
You guys from Jackson or what?
The guy
Jackson,
from Jackson.
he's done a lot of road bores for us up here and he's been awful good on it.
You got anything else, Terry?
Okay. I'm just looking at what you got here, that exactly, the meetings are gonna be held in the safe room, is that what y'all are saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and how is it, they're gonna be set up in, or it's gonna be a permanent thing in the safe room, or, because I don't see any diagram in there to work, or anything, or whatever you'd like to talk about, before we can close off the portion of it, or whatever.
It would have to be, now that we got approved on that safe room, it would have to be a temporary, type curtain or wall that you can fold up, because the safe room, you cannot have any permanent fixtures in that open space. Now, you can put chairs and tables and things that can be moved, and if you have a partition that can be moved, that would be allowed, but it can't be a permanent type structure. So, I think a temporary type partition is what we'd be looking at in there. I think we were talking about a little bit more permanent one when we had it.
Yeah, I was just
safe
going to
room.
say, I thought the whole purpose of building the new city hall was to where we could have a place, a permanent place big enough and handicap accessible and everything, and have our meetings and things in, and that was the whole purpose of the city hall.
Yeah.
That was gone. I
Well-
didn't see anything, and then we're talking about moving in and out and different things, so that was just a question.
Yes, ma'am. And I think as long as there's not a storm situation, your furniture can stay in there. It's just in the event of, a tornado is imminent, then it has to be, somebody has to be able to break it down and move it. So it can stay in there. I mean, 99% of the time, or I would say, or more, we're not in a storm situation. So during that time, everything can stay as is. It just needs to be able to break it down and get it out of the way if the safe room is being used. So, your furniture and things like that will be able to stay in there, but they'll just have to be, readily being able to take them apart and move them. So.
I guess the mowing's kind of slowed down and
Big time.
everything's dead.
I had mowed in 3 or 4 weeks and we hadn't mowed mothers 4 weeks.
I ain't mowed mine in 3.
I got out Sunday with the weed eater, 15 minutes, done my field lines.
That's about all I need to do.
That's what I did. That's what-
Anything else under old business? Well, the sheriff's department lease, see is not here unless Nancy's sure. You got something on that?
No, we're still, Darrell and Sid is yet been able to get out and have a meeting.
Okay.
But it is still a go.
Y'all still using it? They started using it in
No.
yet?
I'm the only one that's been using it.
Okay.
We've got the security system up there to be installed.
I see it.
It's a
Thank
full
you.
camera. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Full
See you,
camera
sir.
system.
Thanks a lot.
As soon as the heat breaks, we'll meet up there one evening and install it.
You know what?
Huh?
Okay.
The security system. We'll have 2 cameras inside, one pointing in the office area they're going to use, one right outside the door pointing into the engine area. We'll have 2 out front, one pointing in the parking lot right there, and then one at the parking lot in City Hall. So we're just waiting, like I said, for the weather to break. We're going to meet Spencer up there one evening, we're going to install.
Do we know whether the county board has approved all of this contract or anything yet?
I do believe they have had this
I
discussion.
have no idea.
The way I took it from Darrell, that they was on board with it. The last time I spoke to him, that was a month ago.
initial holdup on it.
Then they said, meeting with their,
To get the cost thing.
well, it's just the agreement,
Contract or
the contract
whatever it
done.
was. Yeah.
Yes, that's what it is. It's just, they're both been busy. When one could meet, the other one couldn't meet, so that's kind of how it's been for the last month and a half or so.
Anything else under old business?
I wasn't here last month, but was the board aware that we actually, the last meeting that was here, we kind of making fun of the generator deal with the FEMA. We did get approved for that grant.
We got it?
We got it. All the paperwork is turned in to, Charter, and we have not heard nothing back from them. And I guess they know that the sewer moratorium's been lifted. But we did get, and I forget the dollar figure on it. Dean told me, you remember what it was?
I just got a letter saying $865,000.
That's the grant that we approved for on the generator.
And
We
what
got our portion of that.
what I understand, Aaron's got approved for generators too.
Cause he
How
was
big the generator is?
whatever it takes to run our pump. Cause we had, one of them is kinda talking permanent, one of them is talking portable, and
We was talking two portable pump stations because they are prone to flood. The rest of them, there'd be one at City Hall, one at Breakwell, one at Mobley Lane. There's five generators total.
probably might be, we got our office.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's portable, then you move it.
Right.
Just
But-
tie it in our
But from
box.
what I understand from Dean, we'll have to come up with a trailer or something because they don't furnish the portable part of it. But, at pump stations, they're prone to be flooded, so, you know, they need to be where they can be moved.
Put it on skids, drag it.
We
So
actually,
you just bring it down and hook it up into our electrical panel and
Which, according to Dean, they'll have to be contracted out, somebody come in, electrician, do all the connections and the plug-ins and the whole 9 yards.
yeah, they make a double throw box that they want you to have now. You can just pull up the generator and plug it in and throw a switch and it isolates Meriwether Lewis from you.
Yeah.
that's how all our, we had to go through and actually change all that.
But according to Philip, they're supposed to get some generators too. I don't know how many, but
That's not included in the grant, I think, wire and all that.
I don't know.
We don't know.
I mean,
All I've
this,
got is a sheet of paper.
right.
That could be expensive.
Yeah, you can.
That's it.
I think that last, you know, out there at Barber Highway, the switch I put on there,
Yeah.
just a switch was like $1,000.
Yeah.
And it's a manual for it.
Just the wiring end of it could be thousands.
That's becoming the grant then.
especially when you get in three-phase.
3-phase, yeah.
Where the three-phase gets, you have to buy a bigger generator.
Yeah.
That's what ours is down there. It's a 6-cylinder John Deere diesel.
That's one of them, well, ours is capital.
Well, supposedly Dean knows all of our pumps and everything else, and they're supposed to be
It didn't say-
situated for each station.
It didn't say anything on there where we needed to match anything. On this piece of paper I got.
Real informative then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's been 3 years since we heard anything back out of it. I honestly figured that it doesn't fall on the wayside.
We can always get it and tie it into the new city hall.
We state which city hall we're talking about.
As far as I know, that's the only thing that's not tied in.
It's not that,
So,
But, the portables,
it
if you wanted to put, you know, the electrical and everything, where you bring the portable up there to tie that in.
tie it in. As long as you got that switch, you're talking about where you just pull up with it and plug it in, throw the switch. Yeah, yeah.
Safer that your building doesn't have a
I believe it
a
had
backup
that.
generator?
It
I
probably,
believe it has.
I would think it would have to
I'd say
have.
it would, yeah.
I don't think it was actually spec'd in it, but when me and Seth talked, I told him we needed to check and see because, you know, what would be the purpose of having a safe room when all your lights go out, you're in the pitch black in there? And I believe it's actually in plans to have a backup generator with ATM on it. As soon as the power fails, if the voltage drops to a certain point, it automatically come on, and then if it blinks, it runs for 30 minutes to make sure the line is stable.
Anything else under old business?
Got the roads fixed, gravel, it went well.
Ta-da.
They're there, we have got pictures. This is actually the,
Oh, that doesn't matter.
Thursday goes
that's
up
actually
down.
down on 47 where we
It was him, I kept dragging him out, like,
Back years ago.
my
this
body
creek
won't
went
bring that
actually
up.
was there,
Right.
remember, and now it's done. It's
When
within that
we
place,
used
so
to,
that's-
yeah.
That's where we done that.
Lately.
That's that shot rock we ordered, they brought it.
The other one's down on Mobley Lane is, close to 120 something feet down there, 11 foot deep, they had to build up.
That's all we got under old business. We'll move to new business and, me and Spencer were talking outside earlier about how dry it is and fireworks and stuff. Spencer, you wanna tell us what,
I mean, it's up to the board, you know, whether they wanna try to ban fireworks this year. It is awful dry. Looked at the forestry map earlier, we're not in the statewide ban yet, but I believe it's gonna be coming very shortly, because every county around us is in it, so. But I mean,
As far as the drought, I think we're including it, ain't we?
yes, we're in the severe part of the drought.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's, the board has to make that decision if they wanna try to tackle that, or just let it go and see how it goes.
If I were even sitting by the rock, that was right up for me.
yeah,
You had to stop to go around the pit, you had to.
I hate to ban it, I mean,
I believe the city of Aaron's actually set a designated time on the 4th of July to shoot at it.
Last I heard, they were gonna try to ban theirs. I haven't heard anything official.
They
Tommy said it was officially banned today.
Who did?
Tommy said that.
Somebody go by the office, take a piece of paper off our door.
Huh?
Somebody hung a piece of paper up on our door from the city hall, from the sheriff, from the police department, and said that it was okay to shoot them from 12 to 10.
Oh, okay.
I seen that on Channel 12 or somewhere.
Yeah, it's actually
I seen
running.
those hours
It's
too.
Channel 16,
Yeah,
the weather channel. I think it's running on there.
Yeah, it'd have to be the Weather Channel, because I couldn't insert.
Well, you can't have a fire truck everywhere.
No.
And it's dry everywhere.
Montgomery County has even banned the sale of fireworks. Or the city.
Land on fireworks too.
And this even way that wind is blowing, these little sparks, you could not stop it.
And people think those sparklers are safe, they'll give a little kid 2 years old what you will play around with. And they say even if it goes out, it's hot enough on the tip of that to start a fire.
Another thing through in here on this, that last 2 weeks, we've been at 3/4 tank. Sunday, we got up to half tank. We've had double pump Aaron today. We done them Friday, Thursday, double pump them just to stay up close to
Just stay.
3/4 or a half tank. And if we have a major problem or a fire, it don't really suck it out of there.
as far as you know, the county, Houston County, the As far as the county hadn't done anything.
I haven't heard anything about the county. They won't meet again before, they only meet once a month, so.
Last I heard, they hadn't banned it, but if it caught anybody's property on fire, the person that was shooting them was responsible for the damage. How they could do that, I don't know, but that's the last I heard.
I heard
I didn't hear
that
that
on
officially.
16 or somewhere too.
Yeah. That's the last I heard on that.
That, if it happened any other time besides the 4th of July, wouldn't that be true too?
I don't know.
I mean, you had to prove that it was set by that firework coming from that individual to make that stick, I mean.
When I seen it, how you.
But if Nancy shoots a rocket up the road into my yard and it catches fire,
You playing with Art Yard?
Don't have to worry about Nancy shooting around.
well, as far as proving the point of where it come from.
Yeah,
Right.
I think let me get it.
I'll take it.
That's what I said when I read it. I was like, well, I don't know what they can do about that. But
Somebody got to take the blame for it.
yeah, I'll be South Pacific. Maybe got down, always something.
And I'm not sure, Nancy may be able to tell you, I don't even know what steps we'd have to take to ban them. I don't know if we have to make an ordinance or.
It's never.
I looked at the
If it's an
code book this
ordinance, it'll
morning.
take 2 readings and it'll be over.
Yeah, that's what
I don't know, seems like it wouldn't have to be an ordinance, like you said.
we actually have a ordinance on certain types of fireworks.
No,
We don't,
Can't use a ball rocket to shoot a person.
you
can't
can't,
shoot a ball or throw a
you
rock.
cannot shoot a ball rocket.
Can't throw a missile. That
Or
could be a
throw a
coke
missile.
bottle, or rock, anything. That's what. that's
No,
what-
you can't throw a snowball either.
Snowball. Yeah, throw snowball.
But
It's right there in black and white.
Albert actually contacted me before he put this fireworks demonstrator across and asked me if it was legal.
I guess you can't get your horse up at the city hall anymore either, can you?
Full of them, you know, I don't see how you can do one without doing the
Oh,
other.
yeah.
And I called Nancy, and there was nothing in the ordinance.
Yeah, I talked to that. Boy called me, he thought it was something about shooting them or something. I guess that's what he was talking about.
That it is for, been said forever and ever.
You can't
We
throw it.
never found anything.
You can't throw a bottle rocket at
Can't
somebody.
throw a rock,
Can't use anything else.
anything. As a missile.
Yeah, well,
Beer can, whatever, you can't throw
You and your
it.
neighbors can't get them to fight throwing stuff at each other.
This takes all the fun out of life. Takes all the fun out of life. You can't throw anything at it.
Rock, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
Oh, yeah.
snowballs.
Yeah.
Everybody
Does
throws
that
them.
include a vest?
A vest. A vest, yeah.
So can the board, I mean, can they do an emergency ban due to the weather or?
I mean, that was just brought up today, and Sid was already gone on vacation. He told me last week he's going on vacation. So I didn't have nobody to ask. Sid, come on, Margaret, we should ask him for that.
Yeah. I'll read my head loose.
Well,
Well,
He didn't leave anybody in charge of his obligations.
No, I mean, I didn't. No.
if our meeting had fell on Thursday the 5th, would we still have a meeting to ban?
Right.
Or
Point.
if today would have been before,
Right.
you know, would it
And when
be?
today, you get your we're 2 days, I mean,
Then by the 5th, you could probably have 3 or 4 houses burnt down,
Very well
or
could, I mean.
several brush fires, or, whatever. I think people with common sense knows that it's too dry to be shooting fireworks, but, that doesn't, that didn't stop, and they've been shooting them for the last 3 or 4 days, all weekend, back in the last week. No matter how dry it gets, some people are gonna shoot
Oh, yeah.
regardless. You say, well, it's a $50 fine for doing it. Hey, well, I ain't gonna have to pay it once they get caught. But if they set something on fire, you know, burn some house down, there's some elderly person in there that's an invalid that can't get out and kills them or whatever, you know, then where's the repercussion for that? Myself, I'm all for doing a ban.
I think there's some legal issues too. I know the city of Dixon went through this, and they're stating, the fire department's going around, they're stating that if you burn something down, knowing that the legal entity in the city of Dixon has passed this ban, and make sure that you know that you can't file this under insurance if you happen to burn your house down or somebody else's house or whatever else. Why the legal issues involved with this too.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of legal stuff that we haven't covered and don't know about.
But, I don't know, I don't know if we can legally do it, I mean, this short of a notice.
Well, we've never done it before, we don't know what procedure to do it is.
I don't know about any other ordinance, it has to be read twice and passed twice. But like I said, an emergency, I don't know, we've never had to pass an emergency ordinance.
I don't know that this is right. I didn't look it up.
Well, we gotta
But it
have
seems to be,
emergency powers.
I think, if I remember correctly from the book, for it to be an emergency, you have to call an emergency meeting with 24 hours notice, and then come back within that 24 hours and do whatever the emergency meeting is called for.
And if you're involved in a disaster, like a tornado or something, that's when the emergency management takes over and everything. So, that's after the emergency has happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I don't either. I mean, it's in the book, but I didn't read the book.
Yeah.
Right, we don't have an emergency yet, that's,
Yeah.
The potential is there.
potential is there, but potential's there, if they drive it is, you throw a cigarette out the window, it's, the potential's there. I think I seen it where, they can fine you now for improperly disposing of a cigarette butt. And you just flick it out the window, they see you, that's a fine. I guess it would be all the time, but be littering any other time, but now it's really,
Well, now, I mean, if it starts something, you're gonna be charged for reckless burning, so, because you do it with
right.
an ignition source when you throw it out the window, so.
That'd be the same with fireworks.
So just don't throw them out the window at all.
So, I mean, we can bring it to a vote if it needs to be, but I don't know.
I'll have to make a motion in a second.
Huh?
I'll have to make a motion in a second.
That's like you said, I mean, what could you get done?
Next month, next month it'll all be in your ordinance, you don't want to pass an ordinance where you can't shoot fireworks, period, never again.
You may ask Billy Sid what our options are on making, when we come back, where you can pass one to declare an emergency like in dry time, where you can ban them, from a decision from the mayor.
Right.
you may look and see what you can do on that, you know, it ain't gonna help you right now.
Not this time.
Because I honestly do not know what your leeways are you can do. I've never been faced with it.
I don't know how Aaron went about it either, do you?
I don't have any idea. They may have something in their ordinance about fireworks.
They ain't gonna allow them there, it's cool.
Hooting.
Can't hoop.
I think we got the same one. After 11 p.m., you cannot hoot.
Can't hoot.
After 11 p.m.
What your name's Hoot?
I swear it's in there. We was looking at the fireworks, it's in there. We were looking for noise, yeah, that's right. Can't hoot after 11 p.m.
There's a lot of.
So let me be here again.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of them.
Well, unless the board wants to bring it to the table, make it a motion in a second, vote to ban it, I think we'll just let it go. for the time being.
I really don't think that we've got any time to do anything. We can see what the legal ramifications is. Put them in case of with the relays later on, you know, because
It'd be something we
we
definitely.
can't run them
have
down the road
to see
on
it,
it, you
right.
know. There's a ban on burning fireworks.
When we're within 48 hours, the 4th of July. I guess really and truly, we probably could have had an emergency meeting.
I notify people.
Yeah, you gotta have
They can say,
time.
well, you didn't notify me in time.
Yeah,
Right.
even if you have an emergency meeting tomorrow, it's still next day, Lord.
And if you do find them, $50, whatever, and they come to court, and they say, well, you don't have an ordinance against this. Well, I mean, it hadn't passed, you know,
I did
Yeah,
enforce
yeah.
how
that.
do you enforce it?
You don't have it.
I was out of town.
Yeah, without an ordinance, you don't have the authority to fine them.
Right. So I just hope.
Pray for rain.
Just fix it, so I just pray
Pray
that
for
your neighbor
rain.
don't shoot it over and burn your house down.
Pray for rain.
It's all east, north, and south.
We'll call them, tell them, pray over this way then.
We can talk to the three
I hope
preachers.
Well, it looks like
nothing
you're gonna get some
happens.
today.
I know the fire department hopes it don't either.
And we'll just have to take whatever happens from it. But I do think we need to look at that for the future, you know,
Yeah.
whether the board needs to make it a board decision to ban them from, you know,
Yeah.
in this situation again, or whether we're just gonna leave it on, you know, the mayor or the city manager.
Right.
Or mayor, fix it, don't fall. This is the first time in July we've had, first time in a long time we've had a July meeting on the second.
Right.
You
First
just talked
Monday.
after.
So you can ask for it. They shot them at, Cumming City, right? Of course, they're on the river.
Well, yeah. Well,
And does nursing home, or it's the city of Erin usually has some, but.
County,
Is the nurse home
they used
going-
to shoot them from
As
the
far as I know, they haven't banned it yet, they haven't put that on yet. If it was a commercial shoot, I think they're allowing it.
Oh, they're allowing the commercial shoots?
Somewhere I heard they don't water everything down and still have their fireworks.
People look forward to it.
There's two big fields all the way around.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely something we'll have to look into the future. As of right now, Spencer is
People from the shoot.
loading the fire trucks. No,
Well, at least you
I
did
hope
your
not.
job, didn't
I
you,
think
Spencer?
there's a lot of people responsible enough that will, but there's some that won't.
Well, I just want to bring it up, I mean, I've had phone calls.
Well, it is- no,
phone
it's a-
calls, you
it's
know, wanting to know if the city was gonna ban them or
That's
not.
everything, everybody around us is doing something, I mean, either yay or nay. And like you said, this county has not been put in the ban, the
Not the open burn ban.
open burn ban yet.
Now, when people call from dispatch to open burn, now I have put a stop to open burn inside the city limits,
Okay,
but I do not have any authority to open fireworks, so.
okay. Okay. As far as having a campfire or any kind of a fire, that's banned, yeah. Okay.
What about, barbecues?
I'm not banning barbecue. I know Montgomery County's banned barbecues, I'm not gonna ban barbecue.
Really?
I think this is
Like my
inside the
gas
city.
grill, I couldn't grill a burger?
No type of grill
I thought I was
whatsoever.
going to.
Parcels banned even gas grills.
Oh, really?
Being a Scrooge.
Like Davidson County has too.
It's like the year without a Santa Claus.
Yeah.
You can't even cook a hamburger.
Your house burns down, you ain't got 70%.
That's right. Anything else on the new business? Patrick, got anything else?
That's it.
Anybody got anything?
I do suggest though that we do have this come up, you know, where we can make
Put it next month.
I've got a
Yes,
note.
ma'am, we'll bring it up
In my
next,
folder.
probably next meeting, see it's here.
It'll be on your agenda.
We'll get something passed that where,
I know if I see it.
one of us can make a decision.
Yeah.
Might want to pass it.
Yeah.
Nobody wants, I mean, in a situation like this, I mean, it comes down, you may have to.
But that would, you know, it's just not going to July, you know.
No, right.
It'd be anytime that there was a situation that's like we've got. But I don't, if you lived in an apartment building and you was on the 3rd floor and you had a little balcony that was 3 foot wide, would you have a grill out there using? I don't think I would,
No,
but they do.
no, I know. Anybody got anything else?
I'm good.
Hear a motion to adjourn.
I think we should reach it.
All in favor, say aye.
You have no vote?
We have to do. Thank you, O Lord, for all that you've done for us so far. Amen. Call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Alderman Bailey.
Here.
Alderman Campbell. Here. Alderman Dunn. Alderman Finley. Alderman Gooden.
Here.
Alderman Lincoln. Here. Alderman Mitchell. Here. Alderman Taylor.
Here.
Mayor Parchman.
Here.
Mr. Jennings.
Here.
Have a quorum.
Have a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Opposed? Have communications from the mayor. During our work session, we brought up an update on the Water Financial Board. Ms. Janice and then Joyce. Ms. Joyce says that with what Ms. Pendergrass has done, we're not going to have to attend the board session this month. She'll try to take care of us, and if we have to go, it'll be sometime in September. And the update on searching for the backhoe, John Deere Company has delivered a demo backhoe sitting back here in the back lot, and the guys has played with it about all week. I'd like to, this time, ask permission to advertise for a backhoe. So moved. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. We've had to purchase a lawnmower, big commercial mower. It's, how old is that, Philip?
I believe we bought that in, I want to say 2005, I believe. 2005, 2006.
And it should be, the deck is a steel deck, it's guaranteed for life. The mower should be good shape now for another 10 to 12 years. Cost us $2,400. We felt it was an emergency situation to get some grass cut before it started raining. Got out of hand on it. Next is the committee reports, personnel committee report. Who's Ms. Mitchell?
We worked on the personnel manual, as you know, we're trying to revamp that thing, so we hadn't worked on it in several years. It's in here, we did have several questions on it that we actually wanted to bring before the board. Ms. Pendergrass, do you have those questions laid out?
The main question that the committee had themselves was whether to leave in or take out, whether to leave City Hall open during city elections or close City Hall for that day when it's a city election. Not just when it's an election, but a city election where City Hall is used as a polling place. I think that's in there right now because the Personnel Committee was torn whether to leave it in or take it out. So it's in there right now. And the other thing was not the Personnel Committee, but more the employees. There were some issues with, I think holiday pay is being paid, is in the policy to be paid at double time. And I guess some of the employees could.
Also the issue of what day they actually.
Right, but I think MTS cleared that up. I think MTS cleared that up for us, so that really wasn't an issue, but we'll have a public hearing on that, or if you all want to take that up further, there's several employees here to do that. But those were the only two issues that I could really feel like after speaking with MTS that we didn't get resolved. So.
I come from the school system, and practically all the schools, they don't close for election and it operates smoothly. So as far as closing City Hall for election, I feel the schools can work around it, like City Hall can work around it.
Didn't the schools close last year for an election?
Well, this past election, Aaron Elementary, I know they were polling when I dropped Hannah off, so I don't know what they've done in the past.
I thought there was a question about, like the mayor being here, he's running.
That was the closing City Hall.
Yeah, I thought there was an issue.
Right.
Well, it's up to those that are running to not be here, but the employees are not. So I think that should not be a topic.
What you need to do, whoever makes the motion, just make a motion to include or to omit that portion of the policy.
I make the motion that, is it in now?
It is.
I make the motion we delete closing during election day.
I'll second.
Do we have, you want to make a motion to approve it on first reading? You want to do that?
Can we approve it on first reading?
That's what we're, I hope so.
Add first reading to that.
Motion to approve
If it's already in there, we're going to delete it.
right. Oh, that would be ordinance, what number is it now? We've kind of skipped around a little bit here.
586.
Motion to approve ordinance 586 on first reading. Okay. Motion to approve ordinance 586 on first reading, omitting closing City Hall on election days. By Finley. Who's second?
Well, second thought, do we need to, a motion to forego the reading first, or we get out?
We've got a motion and a second on the floor.
It can be read or if the
You
public
can,
hearing or on the second reading or.
You can make the motion to forego the reading on the second reading if you so choose. Does that work for you, Ms. Nina?
It works for me.
Okay. Ordinance 586, motion to approve ordinance 586 on first reading, omitting closing City Hall on election days. Alderman Bailey?
Yes.
Alderman Campbell?
Yes.
Alderman Finley?
Yes.
Alderman Gooden?
Yes.
Alderman Legan?
Yes.
Alderman Mitchell?
Yes.
Alderman Taylor?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Mayor Parkman?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Ordinance 583, sewer rates on second reading. We get a motion on that.
Need someone to make the motion.
I move we approve ordinance 583 on the second reading. Second.
Ordinance 583 on second reading. Alderman Bailey?
Yes.
Alderman Campbell?
Yes.
Alderman Finley?
Yes.
Alderman Gooden?
Yes.
Alderman Wiggin?
Yes.
Alderman Mitchell?
Yes.
Alderman Taylor?
Oh.
Mayor Parchman?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Ordinance 584, water rates on second reading.
Need a second.
Second.
Motion to pass ordinance 584 water rates on second reading. Alderman Bailey?
Yes.
Alderman Campbell?
Yes.
Alderman Finley?
Yes.
Alderman Gooden?
Yes.
Alderman Legan?
Yes.
Alderman Mitchell?
Yes.
Alderman Taylor?
No.
Mayor Parchman?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Ordinance 585, 2012, 2013 budget on second reading. We get a motion.
Motion passed.
Second?
Second.
Ordinance 585, motion to pass ordinance 585 on 2012-2013 budget on second reading. Alderman Bailey?
Yes.
Alderman Campbell?
Yes.
Alderman Finley?
Yes.
Alderman Gooden?
Yes.
Alderman Wiggins?
Yes.
Alderman Mitchell?
Yes.
Alderman Taylor?
Yes.
Mayor Parchman?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Our new business is Leadership of Houston County request to place shamrocks around in the city. Ms. Regan, I don't see Ms. McKenna, would you?
Leadership Houston County, for their community project, is would like to create these 3-foot shamrocks like Nashville did with 2 cars, and I think other cities have done towns, or just different things. Anyway, their project is to create shamrocks. Mitch Thatch is going to make the form for them, and they just would like to put one in the city. They don't have a price at this point, because I assume they want a little financial assistance on it. So this is kind of a preliminary, just letting you know, get a feel for that would be all right. I think they want to put one in the park.
We kind of need a price on it
They
before we
need a
do
price,
that.
they're just asking 100% their copy. They don't have a price. It's more of an information for us. They want to put them in the schools and have the school, let them take their own, you know, this, whatever we have to need to be up to green or something that would be. That's the idea, something on the field trail or things.
The expense will be very minor
Oh, yeah,
because it's nothing but a concrete 3-foot high shamrock. You can paint it however you want it.
So we don't have to call something. They have to figure that out.
That's all. We'll move on to ordinance 587, adjustment policies, first reading.
Ordinance 587, 588, 589. Your adjustment policy, meter replacement, leak detection policy, water meter policy statement. These are all policies that you have already passed by resolution. After presenting them to MTAS, they felt like they'd have a little bit more teeth if they were passed by ordinance. So it's the same policy that's been approved by resolution. I just changed resolution to ordinance and gave it a number. If you'd like, we can reread them all or not. Thank you. And we will have to have a public hearing and a second reading on all of these because they are ordinances, but
Have that next month.
yes, ma'am.
Anybody in the audience wants to come on 5:30.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we get a motion on it?
Motion to approve ordinance 587, 588, 589.
Second.
Motion to approve ordinance 587, 588, 589 as a whole. Alderman Bailey?
Yes.
Alderman Campbell?
Yes.
Alderman Finley?
Yes.
Alderman Gooden?
Yes.
Alderman Wiggins?
Yes.
Alderman Mitchell?
Yes.
Alderman Taylor?
Yes.
Mayor Parchman?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And we will schedule a public hearing for 5:30 before next,
5:30, when is the August meeting? August 7, 5:30, and
That we have a public hearing also on the
ordinance 586.
the personnel, yeah, but the personnel policy will be also in there, so we put them.
Yes, ma'am. And we may have the sewer use ordinance on second reading. I'm not sure, that's at the state right now. They're looking it over, so maybe we'll have that back for its second reading, but that'll be August 7th at 5:30.
That's all. Chief Moore, you want to make a recommendation tonight?
We did some interviews for a full-time position. We had a couple certified after laying everything out with them. Didn't feel like it'd be in our best interest. We interviewed several uncertified. I've got an uncertified officer that's been a reserve for me for probably about the last year. He's bringing about every weekend along with a lot of hours. And I think he would benefit the police department and the city. I'd like to recommend Trent Herman as a full-time police officer. Trent Herman.
Can we get a motion?
Is this, can you introduce him? Is he here?
Yes.
Thank you. I thought that was you.
Make a motion,
Have a motion, second, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. The next one is a motion to transfer tradition CDs in the amount of $173,304 from the general account number 11012114 to the water account number 411121114. Mr. Pendergrass, you want to explain?
This transfer is on paper. We're not spending that CD. We've had some issues with due froms every year. It's noted in our audit for as far back as I have audits. This is just the state wants us to clean it up. They want them paid off. So the transfer from general to water is to decrease the debt that the general account owes the water account. So that money is not going in the budget. It's just going into the water. So if you decide for whatever reason that you wanted to cash that CD in, you could not cash it in for anything but water. That's all it is. You're transferring out on paper from general to water.
Did you find out if that is a tradition?
Yes, ma'am. It is at Traditions, and it is $173,304, and I'm sure there's some interest on that a little bit, but I didn't have that total last time.
Well, it will be tough, so it'll remain a tradition just like it is now.
Yes, sir, unless we can get better rates someplace else and you choose to transfer it someplace else. That's the intention, I'm under the impression.
Move to okay the transfer. Second.
Who was the second?
We have a motion, second, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. We have a resolution 7/1/2012 safety grant. It's for $2,000 and it's a 50/50 match. It's grants that we get from the state to buy safety equipment for maintenance and police department. Am I correct on that? we get a motion on that? We have a motion and second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Next thing is a motion to rename Maple Street Bridge Savings Account to Streets. So we can, we got a motion, we have a second. We have a motion and a second to name that account. All in favor? All opposed? City's in need to clean up some property that we own, and we need somewhere to dump it. And one of our employees, Mr. Philip Baggett, about 4 miles out from here, has a very deep hollow. He says he wants us to fill it up for him. And I need a motion and a second to give us permission to go out there and dump on his property.
Motion. I'll second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor? That way it's down 4 calls, we got 3. Motion to approve the budget amendments presented. Ms. Pendergrass, I'll let you.
Sorry about that.
Have to make sure that leg's in the middle. Philip and I can attest to that. We've done the same thing. The budget amendments, I gave you all a copy. It's kind of faded. All of the amendments are within the same fund. It's pretty straightforward. I can read each of them out if you would like, or...
It's nothing but half sweep in the end of the year.
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion that we approve the budget amendments.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. We have this Jerry Blau leak. Mr. Phillip, you want to explain what you know on that, you worked on it more?
Yes, sir. Sometime around the first of the year, 2011, last year, a little after that, the meter reader came back with a very high reading on the meter, Mr. Jared Lyle's house. I think the usage was about 10,459, I believe that's right.
2 zeros goes after that.
Okay, so that'd be 1,459,000.
I believe that's correct.
Okay, looking back at the notes here, Mr. Dew had went out to check on that after the readings there, and he said he did notice that there was a leak at a hydrant. It didn't appear to be a large leak, but there's a leak at the outside hydrant. A couple days later, he and I went back, and that leak had been repaired. At that time, we took a new meter out and did a meter test on the meter that was in Mr. Lyle's meter there. And both of those tests came back conclusive that the meter was registering properly. That's about all I can tell you about it. And the readings on the meter still seem to be progressing along at a fairly normal rate.
I see Mr. Lyle back there. Would he like to say something to the board?
I would. I got a phone call, I guess in January 2011, that said that my water had cut off. A family member had called, and I left work and went home, turned the water back on. It's not locked. We turned it back on, and there was a faucet in front of the house that was a leak. I thought we could hear water running out of it, so after digging down to the faucet, I really didn't get into any really mud. It was just one of the drain back faucets outside that we used. I didn't really find a leak after going over all the lines. I never found any water pooling, any other leaks of any kind of significance at all. And from what I understand, a million gallons should show up somewhere in a month if it's not running out in the road. I never found anything at all that would even come close to this. Afterwards, the readings went back to normal. My bill was average again, and we never had any more problems. During that month, I guess in January of 2011, I didn't have any water problems as far as low pressure. I never lost water. I never had any problems. I wasn't doing any heavy watering of any kind, and I don't know how, that much water could have been used or gone anyway. I don't see any way or anywhere that the water could have gone, especially that much water getting around the house. If it's not running out in the road, being close to the house, surely I would have seen it somehow, and I never did.
Mr. Lambert, somewhere in this discussion, is there two domiciles on this 1 meter? Two houses?
Two houses?
Yes.
There is.
Well, I'm looking at our new ordinance, and do you have the mayor's permission? No customers shall supply water services to more than one dwelling from a single service line or meter without first obtaining the written permission of the city.
No, ma'am.
This is an old ordinance. Do you have permission from the city to have two houses hooked up?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Well, you're gonna have to get it.
Well, and just till, here lately,
I mean, this is an old one.
Mhm.
Why who allowed you to put two of them on there without getting written permission?
I didn't know that
Who was
we,
mayor?
9 years ago. I'm not sure who the mayor was then. 2003, whoever the mayor would have been at that time.
But you didn't know that was an ordinance, right?
No, ma'am, I didn't.
But I mean, now when we get through with all this, you're gonna have to get permission from the mayor.
Absolutely.
And really, you ought to have 2 meters.
Absolutely.
That is 2 meters, isn't it? As a multiple service?
It's not 2 meters. He has 1 meter. The meter is set here. His line goes quite
straight. My line from the meter, my line goes straight up Winter's Hollow.
And then it tees off to go to.
It goes right across my father's front yard, straight up to my house.
It's
so when
1 meter.
1
It's
meter,
just,
and then the second house will get a minimum bill, and the other one gets how it's read. Is that correct?
right.
So it's gonna have to be 2 bills.
It would be 2 separate bills. It's called a multiple service charge. And it's a courtesy charge, I guess you would call it. The main meter gets billed to, it would be billed to Jared. And then there would be a multiple service, which would be a bill for no usage. It would be a minimum bill.
So is it a deposit for the second?
No.
Did you check the leaks around your dad's?
Yeah, I've checked the way the line runs is that it does lead from the road to the meter and right across in front of Dad's house all the way to mine. So I have checked from almost a half mile from front to back on there, and we've never, and that's what I say, especially the amount of water, and I didn't realize it was this much, but the amount of water is, that's like years worth of water. And I've never found any, not even a wet spot. Nothing that would even show that we had a leak at all. It was, to my understanding, that when I spoke with Miss Laurie, the best way that I've understood it is that the person that read my meter. He was the one reading the meter. He's, I guess, no longer with the city anymore. And unless I'm mistaken, this reading right here, the first time that this, in January when this all happened, was somebody different had came and read the meter. And, you know, this is what was discovered, that there was a high amount. Well, I guess Mr. Dude just turned the water off to stop the leak without touching anything at all. You know, without fixing a leak of any kind, turning the water back on, and after the lines filled back up, the meter wouldn't move. You know, there wasn't a leak.
So you didn't fix anything?
The only thing I fixed was a water faucet, one of the ones outside, and when I dug down to it, the one that Mr. Dude said he thought it, when I dug down to the bottom where the line comes in, you know, I never got any mud. It's one of the ones that has the gravel below it, so when you turn it off, it empties out, so it doesn't freeze. And I never dug down any mud. I probably wasted more water digging down there and taking it off, you know, than I've done anything else. But as far as, you know, 1 million gallons worth, the bills weren't high before and they weren't high after, you know, that month. It's just the 1 month. And I'm not sure if that was the first month, you know, talking to Miss Laurie, if that was the first time that somebody different read the meter. The person that I guess read the meter before, you know, no longer works for the city, and that's as far as I've got.
If you all look on page 1 of your consumptions where it shows his reading, you'll see it should be highlighted. In December of 2010, you'll see he has a 0 reading. That's not a 0 reading because his meter wasn't read. The meter, when Mr. Dew read the meter, he called in, it was a high meter, a high reading. We went back out to recheck it. There was concerns because it was such a great amount of water. It was close to billing. We didn't have time to really do a good investigation of it. So we zeroed those readings out in December and gave him a minimum bill for no usage so we could get cleared up. This was a substantial amount of water. We wanted to make sure of what we were doing before we sent him a bill. So that's why there's a 0 there. It's not because the meter wasn't read. We zeroed it out in the office. We wanted to make sure if it was a leak that we had the whole thing on one bill instead of sending him 2. The month prior to that, his usage was $12,400.
Which is about normal for him. And after this is his reading?
Yes.
So it doubled? No. That's his.
After the leak, his readings were pretty much what they were before the leak.
So the only question was that right there. It was a high reading.
Right.
For 1 month.
Well, I don't know if it was for 1 month or...
Well, he was reading the meter all the time here.
The meter reader, I can tell you, when we got this, the meter reader sat in my office and told me that he diligently read the meters every month.
And this is what he was reading up until that point.
Yes.
And then that jumped by 1 million gallons.
Yes.
And then after whatever you did was done, it went back to about what it had been before.
Yes.
So that 1 month is the only thing in question.
On paper.
I'm just asking.
Let me also tell you that this wasn't the first time with this meter reader that he sat in my office and swore that he read the meters, because we had problems with this meter reader's book, which is why I told Mr. Lau possibly it wasn't just 1 month, it could have been more. But again, all I can tell you